Coaches from 3 of the projected top 5 teams in the WCC sound off on NCAA Tournament expansion, G Leaguers playing college hoops, and more.
You are Locked On College Basketball, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, folks? Welcome into a special edition of the Locked On College Basketball Podcast, a daily national college hoop show, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Andy Patton, and you are joining at the place to get your college basketball content Monday through Friday, in season, out of season, does not matter. We are here for you 5 days a week. I want to thank all of you who have made this show your first listen or your first watch of the day. Give a special shout out to those everyday listeners as well. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. So download FanDuel today. Well, we're going to hear from Chris Gerlufsen at San Francisco, Randy Bennett at St. Mary's, and Wayne Tinkle at Oregon State, as well as a handful of players from each of those 3 programs today. We're at WCC Media Day on Thursday, collecting up some of those interviews, talking about NCAA tournament expansion, talking about G League players being able to sign with college basketball teams, getting some insight into how these coaches are navigating the transfer portal and high school recruiting as well. Going to go through them 1, 2, and 3 in each segment. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check out these interviews here. Coach, we'll start with you. New season here. We lost 4 starters from last year's team. Coming in, obviously, a lot of guys who graduated, some guys who are very iconic in the program, a couple of WCC Player of the Year awards for Augustus and Defensive Player of the Year for Saxon. How do you go about, in an era where we're seeing so much turnover year over year, you lose 4 starters, but yet the majority of the rest of the role players kind of come back. Obviously, these 2 guys are back in the mix. How are you able to kind of keep that group together and kind of keep that next man up mentality for this group?
I think recruit the right guys. I think recruit guys that understand that's what they're getting into. That's what they're signing up for. I mean, Mikey's a great example of that. Harry's a great example of that. Like, when they came, they knew that the ball wasn't going in their hands for every possession, and they weren't going to have to be the leading scorer as a freshman. That's it. It was going to be a little bit of a process, and that's every once in a while. I mean, Mikey's one of those. Harry, not quite as much, but I mean, he had a pretty lead role as a scorer as a freshman on a 29-win team. That's hard to do. I don't care where you're at. And Harry was able to play as a freshman, but it's that mentality. They know they have to develop. We believe in them. They're going to get better, and they all do. And try and their goals are our goals. So. Yeah, that's kind of. I think it starts with who you get, and then how you coach them, how you develop them, and you want them to be loyal to you. You better be loyal to them.
Right. For you 2 guys, kind of a similar question. Obviously, we lose some really key players. You guys are stepping into bigger roles this year. What do you do to kind of prepare for that? Kind of knowing like, hey, this is my opportunity to step into a bigger role and help lead this team that continually wins. 25, 28, 30 plus games per year.
Nothing different than the last 3 years. Just kind of know that the work works, and that I've put in the time, and the coaches have put in time into me, and it's kind of all it's all built up to this moment, and just know that trust yourself and trust your work.
Yeah, I just say just trusting the staff. Coach has been here for forever now. He's had a lot of good guards come through, so just trusting that that's what's worked for them before, it'll work for me, and just coming every day with a great attitude and like ready, just trying to get better.
On that same note for you guys, obviously with so many seniors departing, there's a kind of a gap in leadership, and you've been in the program for a couple of years. I know it's your second year, but do you guys kind of take on that role of, hey, how can I help instill this St. Mary's culture? Obviously, it's a lot on the coaching staff, but I'm sure it's a lot on you guys too. So is there something that you guys have kind of been able to do to help the new players or the guys who maybe, redshirted last year, didn't play much, and kind of help get them ready to play St. Mary's basketball?
Yeah, I think everyone on the team is going to lead, and in their own way. Obviously, young guys, it's not in the same capacity as the guys who've been here for a while, but you know, you just find ways in which you can make your team better, and that's kind of what leadership is. It's like, hey, how do you make the group better as a whole? And whether that's leading by example or working really hard, or you are a vocal leader, it's like you kind of find your niche of like what makes you a great leader, and kind of you lean into that.
Sure.
Great answer.
I'd say the continuity. Everybody's played with everybody. If you like really just like look at it, it's like a family tree. So just kind of doing what was done before you. You don't have to do anything special. Just, you know, come in, do your job every day, and just be the best leader you can be.
Coach, we saw an exhibition game against Arizona a couple weeks ago, last week, you know, whenever that was. What were some of the things that you saw out of that exhibition that you liked from this team, and maybe some things that you guys still are working on here between now and the start of the season?
Yeah, so we played that exhibition against Arizona. We played 11 guys each half, so it is a little different than we played exhibitions or scrimmages, I should say, before, where, you know, we're closer to having our rotation of 8 or 9 down. We don't have that, and we have some young guys. They're talented guys. We need to see. They need to get some reps in our uniform and playing against a different colored uniform, and because that's always, you know, who can play well under the lights. So we were going through all that. Some of our a lot of guys played well. There's a lot of positives. Some of our young guys, I thought, had some good games. I don't think most guys didn't play 20 minutes. They played probably 20 or less, and so it's hard to really get totally comfortable until you get up over 15 minutes. So we're going through that. We play Ole Miss on Sunday, and we'll do the same thing. We were missing a guy last game, so we'll play 12 guys, probably both halves, but actually we're playing 3 halves this time. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get these guys reps and just get data on them, see if we can help them, give them some feedback so they can keep getting better. I think we won't be formed as here's your rotation probably till December 1st, which is different for us, but it's just the way we are.
For you guys, obviously this is the last year that Gonzaga is going to be a member of the WCC before they move on to the Pac-12. You guys won the regular season the last couple of years, won the regular season the last couple of years, lost the conference tournament last year. I had to imagine that there's some extra motivation to go out and send them out of this conference without winning a championship in either regular season or the conference. Is that something that you guys are thinking about, or are you kind of focused on the games in front of you, or kind of how that rivalry has developed?
Yeah, I personally, I look at it more as the context of it's my senior year, and I kind of, you know, want to give everything my best shot. And you know, that rivalry, it's a big game, and you know, you live for those big games. And but yeah, obviously all that adds to the excitement for sure.
Yeah, I'd say we're more so worried about winning for us because we want to win versus like trying to send somebody out on whatever note. I think it's for me personally, at least, I think about the legacy that I want to leave, not like anybody else's. So I just want to more so win for you know, St. Mary's and for these guys up here.
Coach, big topic in college basketball recently has been NCAA tournament expansion. Obviously, this is a program that's been pretty consistently in that field, but there's some concern about the expansion not necessarily being helpful for mid-major programs as much as maybe it could be. Do you have any thoughts on the potential expansion of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I'm 100% for expansion. I think it needs to happen. Hope it happens. I don't see how it hurts mid-majors. I think it's more spots. It's like threading the eye of a needle getting in the NCAA tournament. We've been able to do it, but not many schools can say that are coming out of non-Power 4. But it can be done. And there's another one in our league that's doing it. But I just think give teams a chance to play in the postseason. It's hard to play in it in the way that things stacked up now where they've made it harder and harder.
Mhm.
They need to give more opportunities for teams and kids. I mean, so many kids go through their college career and never play in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to say 80% maybe never play. Like that just doesn't seem like a good thing to me.
For you guys, a lot of new faces on this roster, obviously. Is there anybody, any players in particular that have kind of stood out to you? I know some guys who have some WCC experience coming over, like Tony and Jazz, and obviously some guys who redshirted last year stepping into bigger roles. Is there anybody who kind of has stood out to you of like, oh man, I'm really excited for people to get to see them on the court this year?
I mean, I'd say all the guys. Everybody, like, you know, Coach said, like, we're still trying to get our rotation right because that's just how deep we are as a team. Practices are competitive every single day. Liam, you said, is a guy who redshirted last year. Liam's really good. Tony's really good. Jazz, like all the guys. Monish, Trent, like they're all really good. They make practice competitive every day, and I mean, the level they're playing at, like Coach said, is making his job a little difficult, just trying to figure out who's going to play. So I just think that speaks to the level of talent that we have on our team this year.
And Dylan as well. I'd add him to the list
D-Shaw,
for sure. Yeah.
Coach, last question for you. Another change we've seen in college basketball, much more recently, the ability for teams to be able to sign players out of the G League. Obviously, a team here in the conference kind of kickstarted that with Santa Clara. Obviously, international players have been a big part of college basketball for a while, and being able to sign players who have played professionally overseas, but feels a little different when it's players, you know, here in the States. Is there kind of anything that you've thought in the few weeks since it happened that we've kind of seen with these G League players playing college basketball?
Yeah, I see both sides of that argument. I agree with you. Like, it just feels weird when it's G League. They've been playing in the G League. They're definitely pros.
No debate.
But I guess in Europe they're pros too. But they don't have the. In Europe they grow up in those clubs and they stay in their clubs. So then they become a pro because they get to go play up on the varsity for a little bit. Over here, when you go G League, you're going pro. And that's the deal. And so to me it's a little different, but I can see the logic of the argument they're making. And I would say I don't know where it's going. So I don't really want to I don't really have a good evaluation comment on it.
Well, San Francisco managed to retain one of the best mid-major freshmen in all of college basketball last year in Tyrone Riley IV. Tyrone joins to discuss what kept him with the Dons. That and more coming up here in just a second. But first, folks, one of the tools that helps make a big difference for business owners is Quo, formerly Open Phone. It's the same great business phone system that you've heard me talk about before, just with a new name. And here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. And Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying two phones around or relying on a landline. Their built-in AI agent is a game changer. It can answer after-hours calls, capture leads, and keep business moving even when you're off the clock. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started for free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That's QUO.com/lockedoncollege. You can even keep your existing number for free. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Folks, the college basketball season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and you'll get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets that you can use all across the app. And when you use FanDuel parlays or player props, or even jumping in on the action live, it makes watching football even more exciting since you've got a little bit riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving deep into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. There's no odds right now for the WCC regular season or conference tournament championship. We do have odds for Gonzaga at plus 3,500 to win the national championship. Or if you're feeling real bullish on that St. Mary's team, they are at plus 20,000. So, folks, what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app and get started today. All right, Coach, I want to start with you first here. Coming into this season, obviously one of the big things that a lot of mid-major programs have struggled with is retention. And it's always exciting to look at all the new players, the new faces, but you got 3 guys right here coming back to this program for another year. What does it mean to you and to your program to be able to have that kind of continuity in an era where a lot of programs are really struggling with that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, that is the main focus now is how you can retain players that have invested a lot in our program. All 3 of these guys were part of 25 wins last year. And so that has a way of naturally translating to some of the newcomers, and they know what the expectations are. They know what we do on both sides of the ball. And all 3 of them have had tremendous off seasons. Just excited for all of them individually to take that next step as a player. But retaining is the number one key. Obviously, you want to attract the right guys in the portal and through high school recruiting, but makes me feel good as a head coach having these 3 guys here.
On that same note, to you guys, choosing to come back to the program, first want to know kind of what went into your off season. Were you kind of re-recruited? Were you looking at other programs? What kind of kept you here at San Francisco? And then to Coach G's point as well, what are some of the things that you specifically worked on? Because again, when you're moving from program to program, you don't get that kind of continuity of here's the thing that we saw from you last year that we want to see you improve on or do better with. So what are some of those things that you guys have kind of been working on this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, coming back, I never even entered the portal, so I always knew I was going to come back here. Just had a great relationship with staff, Coach CG, and I'm from the area, so I take it very personally to wear this name across my chest with the logo. And I feel like I haven't done what I really needed to do in this area yet in San Francisco, so I decided to come back. And as far as playing, we lost Marcus Malik, 2 big vocal guys, so just stepping in and leading with my voice and be able to do that is the biggest thing for me coming back.
Yeah, coming back was a big thing for me. Obviously, I did test the portal for a little bit, but we have an amazing staff here. I would say in the portal, most coaches would obviously probably let a guy a little loose, but this guy was a stickler with me. We met every morning, and I feel like he gave me a sense of that he still wanted me to be here. And I also feel like we have unfinished business. We obviously have a bigger goal than what we didn't accomplish last year. And obviously, piggybacking off what he said is stepping into a role of being a leader, being more vocal, and finding my voice along with this team, since we do know what it looks like to win and what he likes as a coach.
Yeah, coming back because I'm feeling good in this team because, we push each other every day. And, I'm feeling this team has a respect and love. We practice it's good in the whole summer, and we are ready to the new seasons. And I believe our coach because last season we have so many players injured, and we still got 25 wins. Yeah, so that's why I want to stay here. Yeah.
You kind of mentioned that leadership role and taking that on for you guys. Obviously, you also mentioned Malik and Marcus moving on and taking on that role with a handful of new faces on this team as well. Some big time transfers coming in, some guys from some power conference programs, some really productive players. And so what do you kind of do individually to help get those players prepared and ready to play San Francisco basketball? And this question's for you guys and then for you too as well, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, like Five said earlier, we know how CG wants practices to go, how we know how everything should look. So as long with our voice, we have to also lead with our play as well, lead by example. So just telling the guys each and every day, got to show up ready to go, got to get better each and every day because can't take any days off. It's really hard to be good. So you need every day of practice to get better.
Yeah, obviously leading by example is the first thing. They can't know what it looks like if we're not showing what it's supposed to look like. So if we're leading them down the path of not successful things, then we're not going to be successful as a team. So as us 3, we need to do the little things and the right things every day that he likes. And then obviously everybody else will learn and it'll trickle down.
I mean, we 3 are oldest player in the team, so we need to be communicate more in the team. And I'm still learning the team because coaches always think my English maybe is not well in the team, and in the practice when I make the mistakes, and he's not real mad to me. He's talked to these two guys. They said it's not my fault, So every time they need these two guys talk more and more and just reply to me, and sometimes I feeling okay. I understand. Don't talk that shit to me. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I feel this good. I feel this team is good. Yeah.
I don't know how I follow that answer up. No, but these guys have earned the right to be in the position that they're in, and I have all the respect and confidence in the world in these three guys, and I can't say it enough. Having guys who have been in the trenches and been in the war and been in the battles of what the WCC looks like, and non-conference as well. They know how much goes into being successful. So, again, to have these three guys here, they deserve to be here and they deserve to represent our program.
Coach, a big topic that's come up throughout this offseason and really the last feels like 3-4 off seasons has been NCAA tournament expansion. There's talk about that potentially happening up to 76 teams. For a program that's in a conference that has pretty consistently gotten 2 teams, but really struggled to get past that number. What is your thoughts around expansion? Obviously, how much that might impact this program, whether it's going to impact mid-major programs at all. Kind of what is your read on the NCAA tournament expansion?
Number one, if that gives us more opportunity, I'm all for it. I think there needs to be some clarification in terms of what that model is going to look like. If it's to continually squeeze the mid-majors out, I'm not in favor of it. But if it is to actually reward the 76 or whatever best teams in college basketball, that's what makes March Madness what it is. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of how we go down that path. But, we'd love to be in the original field and not have to rely on that. And that's what we're kind of chasing every day.
On that topic too, one of the big things that you have focused on, and that I know many programs in a similar position focus on, is that non-conference schedule. Like, how can we put together as many quad 1, quad 2 opportunities as possible in a conference where, there's not going to be as many of them as you're going to get in the Big Ten and the SEC and conferences like that. This year, once again, very, very competitive on paper schedule for San Francisco. How important is that for you, and how, for lack of a better way to ask this, how are you able to do that when so many programs, I think, are trying really hard to schedule these tough games and are struggling to do so?
The first thing I would say is, are they trying their hardest to, we would take a game anywhere, any place, just to get those quad 1, quad 2 opportunities. And by no means was I excited to have to travel to Tupelo, Mississippi and South Dakota and just for example, but those are games that we need. And unfortunately, we can't schedule in the non-conference the way that a Power 4 does. They have a very clear kind of scheduling model that they all try to stick to. And we're searching for 13 to 15 quad 1 or quad 2 opportunities. And luckily, I feel like we've been able to put that together this year. We have a lot of quality games in the non-conference, and hopefully we can hit that 13 threshold, because that's kind of been the mark, for a mid-major plus to get an at-large berth. So I feel really good about our non-conference schedule. Now we need to go out and, win those games.
Well, Coach Tinkle and Oregon State enter their second and final year in the WCC with expectations of more success on the road. We got more on that coming up here in just a second. But first, folks, Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride, with more IIHS top safety pick awards than anyone else as of August 2025. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details, and Mazda brings that same intention to how they craft every make and model. You can feel that incredible Japanese craftsmanship in every detail, from the metallic accents to available Napa leather upholstery. With all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Because with Mazda, everyday drives feel like anything but, from smooth handling to intuitive controls. Like college basketball players, Mazda sweats every detail because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. Coach, start with you. Entering your second season, final season in the WCC. Last year when we talked, right before the start of the season, kind of looking back, what was your experience like in this conference for the first time? And kind of was there anything that maybe surprised you about being in the WCC?
Yeah, no, I don't think there were any surprises. We knew, how good the league was, good players, but really good coaches. We knew that the game prep was going to be more, system structure oriented than the Pac-12. And it made it really fun for us. We were happy the way we competed. Obviously, a little wind out of our sails down the stretch with, all the stuff that was going on with college basketball. But, we enjoyed the league. Travel scheduling was a little goofy. I think 4 of our last 5 opponents had a week off before they played the Beavs down the stretch. But really good basketball, great players, great coaching. And, we were happy to be an affiliate with it.
Josiah, on a roster that 5 or 6 of the kind of top players, top scorers are all gone. Now you're going to step into a much bigger role. What have you been doing to kind of prepare for taking on, a bigger role on this team heading into the season?
I just think the main thing I've been doing is kind of just focusing on the guys around me. The coaching staff has done a great job of helping me work on the things that I need to work on. The new guys came in and kind of, pushed me to be a better version of myself, lead, be more vocal. So I think for me, I kind of just have to keep focusing on those little things that the coaches are challenging me to do to be a better person for myself and a better player for the team.
Dez, coming over from Missouri State, great season last year. What brought you to Corvallis and Oregon State specifically, and what are you hoping to do to be able to impact this team this year?
The winning tradition brought me here, just the coach that I have built and knowing that they have this thing running. And I think that my skills and my abilities can continue to get this thing running and keep us winning and win 20-plus games this year. And that's a goal that I have, and I know that's a goal that the coach staff and the team has, and I think all of us collected together can do it.
Coach, a lot of success for your team at home last year. I remember distinctly you told me that people aren't going to be ready for what it's like to play in Corvallis and certainly picked up some really nice wins at home, a bit more of a challenge on the road. Is there anything that your team's kind of looking to do differently this year to maybe get some more W's out on the road?
Yeah, the last few years we just haven't had great success on the road early in our time at Oregon State. My years at Montana, we were road warriors. It really comes down to maturity and discipline and toughness. And we've had some really young teams the last few years. Last year, a new team. This year's different. We went on the road for a close scrimmage and had success. And so I think this group's starting to understand. I mean, we mention it daily, the little things, discipline, mental toughness, because you've got to breed that early in the year to give them the confidence to go out and have success on the road. You got to take those challenges on. Like it's fun going to other people's, gyms and great environments. And, you want that. And unfortunately, there's sometimes you go places where there's not a lot of atmosphere and you've got to get yourself going, but you've got to really relish in those things to give yourself a chance. But it's easier said than done. You've got to develop it. But I've got confidence that this group's got exactly what it takes to get it done both home and road.
For you guys, obviously a ton of new teammates for Dez, all new teammates, Josiah, a lot of new teammates as well. Is there anybody that's really kind of stood out to you as you guys are getting ready for the season of like, hey, I'm really excited to see what this guy's going to be able to do on the team this year?
The guy next to me. I'm super excited to see what he does and, kind of brings to the team because he's a really good guy, really good hustle player. But I can't really put a specific name on the other, 8 new guys. Everyone's, came in and done a phenomenal job, just working hard every single day, doing whatever it takes, to make the team better and themselves better.
I would say for sure, excited to play with JoJo just alongside another dog. And then all the other players, super unselfish. Everybody wants the best for the next person. So I would say that's a main theme right now. And in practice every day, it's a different person stepping up, a different person showing you that they can compete at the highest level. And it's just great to see everyone wants the best for the next player. It's been great.
I think that's really you're starting to hear a reoccurring theme, like our depth. We've got a lot of guys, and nobody's worried about am I going to start? What are my minutes? How many shots? They want to win, and that's the neat thing, and that's a great and we talked about discipline. That's a great creator of discipline, depth, and not hey, if you screw up, you're going to come sit down. We got, but if you're not at your best, we've got somebody else that can go in for you. Now, we've got to make sure because we can't play 11 guys every night. But there's nights you might be able to. And so then when you get into those moments, how do players, 9, 10, 11 handle it if they go a couple of games? But we got the next up mentality, and the way we run our program, we always tell the guys, keep a positive mindset. You never know when somebody comes down with the flu, tweaks an ankle. If you're harboring negative thoughts, you're not going to be able to come in and make the impact we need you to. And so far, our guys have been really positive that way.
How do you balance as a coach the desire to get the most out of your players, obviously, and having them be ready when their number is called, but also not feeling that stress of like, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get replaced? Like, that's a delicate balance, and obviously it's probably different for every player. But
well, no, it's always been a delicate balance, and even more so the last few years with everything that's kind of crept into college basketball. But the thing we do, like, we coach our guys hard, but we always follow it up, with a pat on the backside and an arm around them. They know it comes from a good place because I think we earn their trust right away. And so you don't want to get to a point where you remove somebody if they're being a negative. You want to keep everybody together. But if you really are about the right things early in the process, you get guys to trust in that, and okay, I'm going to cheer for this guy because he's a great teammate, and I'll wait till it's my turn. But then again, you want kids to be competitive, right? And keep that edge. So it is a tough line to kind of balance, but I think it's a job as the head coach and the rest of the coaching staff to keep everybody engaged and believing. And we've had years where we've done that. I remember, I think we broke a 45-year record at Montana for road wins, consecutive road wins and home. And we were without 2 of our starters down the stretch, but it was next man up. And because those guys kept a great attitude through the course of the season, they were able to take us to the next level. And so we hope to instill those same things in this group.
NCAA tournament expansion has been a big topic, really for a half decade or so at this point, but a lot of talk about it potentially expanding to 76 teams in the next year or two. What are your thoughts on the potential for there to be more teams in the NCAA tournament? Is that something you're viewing as a positive thing, something that maybe not so much of a positive thing?
Well, I think what we've got right now is a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm ever afraid of change or progress, but I think we've got a great deal going. And the concern for me is that it's just going to allow the bottom teams in a bigger conference make the NCAA tournament and take away opportunities from strong mid-major. That's what made March Madness, those upsets and that sort of thing. And so that's my concern, is it's just going to be a watered down version. If you finish under 500 in your league, I don't care how good a league it is. What's your right to play in the NCAA tournament versus a team that wins their the regular season championship? I don't care, what level. So those are some of my concerns. And if they can guarantee that it's not going to eliminate some of those other teams from getting the opportunity, then we'll see. But I love where we're at right now. And don't think we really need to mess with it much.
For you guys, is there any team in particular on the schedule, either in the conference or non-conference slate, that you're most excited about getting a chance to play this year?
I don't have one in particular. I would just say, especially anyone that comes in the Gill Coliseum, just be ready for a fight, be ready for a dog fight, and just protect home court at all costs.
Yeah, I'll just repeat what Dez said. I think we're just, focused on winning no matter who we're facing. We're worried about us, not about the other team. So I think if we do what we're expected to do, I think we'll be all right.
Last question, another thing that's come up, a recent change in college basketball, the ability for players or coaches to sign G League players, as we saw a team in this conference do not that long ago. Obviously a bit of a sudden change to the rules in college basketball. Thoughts on what this means for the sport?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways you can go with this. I just, it's hard to point your finger at what's fair and what's not anymore. I'm worried that we're taking away opportunities from high school kids, from kids coming in as freshmen and getting, early experience and developing. Now, I understand if somebody gets out of high school, they have to sit a year before they can enter the draft. Yeah. And, there was always that gap year in prep school. If someone wants to go to the G League, maybe to see and get some experience and then come back, great. But when you're talking about guys that have played pro ball for 3-4 years, I think it's tough for at a lot of levels. And I know there's a lot going on in college basketball of late. I don't know that a lot of it's very positive. And so at some point we got to corral this stuff and get back to strong footing, because I don't want to lose. It seems like we're losing the collegiate model. And you know, it used to be a 4-year commitment. You could really develop young men, transform them, and it's become a lot more transactional. And you know, you're losing legacies, you know, and all that sort of thing. And wait till we see graduation rates in the next few years with all that stuff. But we got to put our arms around it. And I think some of the great coaches that are maybe getting out of the game, maybe lean on them on their way out to really try to help fix some things. A game that's been so great to them and all of us. Hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can get some things heading in the right direction in these next few years, because it's still a great game. It's still a great opportunity for these young men and women and coaches. And we want to make sure that we can keep it moving forward in as positive a manner as possible.
All right, folks, that is going to wrap it up for us today here on the Locked On College Basketball Podcast. Of course, a big thank you to Coach Bennett, Coach Gerlufsen, and Coach Tinkle, as well as the student athletes we got a chance to speak to at the Media Day on Thursday. We're going to have some really fun stuff for you coming up next week. I got a couple more team previews. We're going to talk all about this incredible exhibition slate this weekend. We're going to talk about the biggest games on Monday's show, get you a few team previews, and then before you know it, folks, we're going to be recapping real basketball games that count in the standings. Season is a week away. I cannot wait. So exciting to have college basketball back. As always, though, we want to say apologies to the Lawyer family. Let's go Wild Popes. Cheers to the McBruins. Folks, have a great rest of your weekend. And until next time, peace out.